Hello, my name is Christopher Saley, and this is my comparative analysis done on the methods of controlling an invasive plant species here in Florida known as the air potato vine. Before we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a student here at CF. I'm studying forestry, and I plan to transfer to the University of Florida to pursue my bachelor's degree in forestry, specializing in protected areas management. I am also a volunteer at Silver Spring State Park, and I do trail maintenance and other projects with the rangers there, which kind of gave me the idea for this project. What we're going to be doing today is discussing the air potato vine. We're going to identify the plant. We're going to identify two other similar vines that grow in the same area that are native to Florida. And then we're going to be discussing the methods on controlling the air potato vine and which of those methods would be the most effective at controlling, possibly eradicating the vine, and then the most cost effective as well. So, the air potato vine is known scientifically as Dioscorea bulbifera. It has been especially difficult to control in Florida because of the damage that it causes to the natural landscape. It grows quickly and hardily, and it is not affected by many naturally occurring environmental factors here in Florida, which makes it a very difficult vine to control. As I mentioned before, we're going to identify the plant. This is the air potato vine leaf. Notice it's heart-shaped, and the veins stemming from the center, and they all come from the center and go downward. Okay, and this is the actual vine. I had to unwrap it. It coils tightly around the host plant. This is a native vine. This is known as smilac. Notice it's got similar shaped leaves, and the vein pattern is kind of similar as well. The only difference that you will notice is that on the actual vine itself there are thorns, little thorns. Okay, that's smilac, and that's a native. And our last native is called a muscadine grapevine, and this is what the leaf looks like. It's kind of similar. They all grow in the same area, as I mentioned before. This is what the vine looks like. This one's a little more straight, but again, the leaf pattern is similar. So we don't want to get rid of these guys because they're good. This is the one that's no good. This is the air potato vine. Now normally they'll have the bulbils, which are the gray seedlings, and they hang right here underneath the leaves, and that is what the vines actually sprout from. So as I mentioned before, there are actually several methods on controlling the air potato vine. The first option that I came across was mechanical removal of the air potato vine, which includes, and not limited to, lawnmowers, weed eaters, hedge trimmers, and now those are effective methods. However, with the use of the lawnmowers and the weed eaters, it was found that there were bits and pieces of the vine being thrown out, and they were able to respawn, and it kind of made more of an issue than it helped. The second option was a chemical treatment. When dealing with most any plant species, there's going to be a type of chemical treatment in order to either one, help it grow, or two, to stop it from growing. Now this was an effective method. However, it's a pretty hardy vine, so the first application didn't affect it as much. It took multiple applications of the chemical to have an effect on the vine, which caused damage to the natural landscape of our state, which is an unwanted side effect. So that treatment was effective, however, it wasn't the best possible option. The third option that I found was kind of interesting. It was a manual removal method. There were certain cities in Florida, including Hernando County, counties in Florida, Hernando, Alachua, and Duval, which recruit volunteers to help protect and conserve Florida's natural areas through removal of the air potato vine. They actually call it the air potato roundup. Citizens, organizations, and local businesses get together to collect vines and bulbils. Back in 2003, the city of Gainesville actually collected 13 tons of air potato vines along with other invasive plants. Now, this method was effective. However, it was inconsistent due to the fact of having to gather the citizens and everything like that, which is it's a good thing to do in the meantime. However, it's just not a constant effective method on controlling the vine. Which brings me to option number 4, known as the biological method. Knowing that the air potato vine invasion stemmed from Asia, researchers and scientists began looking into any type of animal or insect which made any type of impact on the growth or development of the vine itself. The researchers from the USDA Invasive Plant Research Laboratory in Fort Lauderdale discovered a leaf-eating beetle in Nepal known as Liloceras chinni. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but the adult beetles that are used to control the vine are from 2 separate regions in Asia, including Nepal and the Yunnan provinces of China. The beetles may be bright red or brown depending on which region that they come from, but both of the beetles produce the same desired results concerning the air potato vines. The beetles survive for up to 6 months, and during that time the females can lay an estimated 4,000 eggs. Now, the good thing about the air potato beetle is that it doesn't target anything except for the air potato vine itself. What the females do is they lay the eggs here on the back of the leaves and all along the veins here. Once the eggs hatch, the larvae feed on the air potato vine, and then the life cycle starts over again. And another good thing about the air potato beetle is that it can survive here in our climate, because our climate is similar to the climate in which the vine originates. So it actually makes this the best possible option. Let me just go ahead and recap the summary of my findings. So we talked about the mechanical methods to remove the air potato vines, which are generally effective. However, they are damaging in ways by throwing debris, causing the plant material to spread. The chemical methods we discussed are effective also. However, they do damage some of the Florida's natural landscape, which is not one of the results that we're going for in this study. The third method, which is an effective method as well, was the cultural method, or the method of getting volunteers together to remove the vine itself, which was an effective method. However, we found that to be inconsistent due to the fact of having to gather the volunteers. So the last method, which was most effective, was the air potato beetle. The population of the beetle does not harm the native vegetation, and it will survive from year to year in order to continue the eradication of the vine. This method does not harm the natural landscape, and it is highly effective when compared to the other methods. So the recommendations from the report would be to use the biological method because it's the most cost effective and the most impactful. It has very few drawbacks with the use of the air potato beetle. It's actually readily available for consumers, park service specialists, and government and city workers. The use of the air potato beetle to help maintain and control the invasive species has been approved by the USDA as a biological control agent, and they will actually provide the beetles if you contact the local USDA office at 352-374-5901, or you can visit their website to get in contact with them directly. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the report, and be more wary of some of the invasive species that we are dealing with here in Florida. This is just one of the many, so the more mindful that we are, the more able we are to protect our natural landscape and beautiful Florida environment.